Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemist of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cousins in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne the God, it will not stop me. Angel number 21. All right, y'all, let's get into it. God, what messages do you have for us to become the alchemist of our life, to help bring heaven on earth, or just to do magic in public? God, what messages do you deem worthy for us to hear at this time? Please deliver them to me and through me as clear as possible. In God's name I pray, Ashe. So I'm feeling good. I just feel like a really, really good full moon reading. I'm really excited about it. It's like I didn't want to, but now I like them. Angel number 58, Earth Guide. All right. So the message that came out is Earth Guide. Your sacred calling upon this earth is to simply love and be loved. So if you were ever wondering, like, what's my purpose? What should I do? God is saying, just love, be love. Like, everything is just about love. Like, it sounds corny and you're like, really? But it really just comes down to love. Do what you love, like who you love, you know, do things you love. Like, it just comes down to love. And stillness. Reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. And so I feel like right now with these two messages of Earth Guide and stillness, I feel like God is asking you to just take a time out to just really ask yourself, are you walking in your sacred calling? And remember, the sacred calling is to simply love and be loved. So are you doing things that you love? Are you around people who make you feel loved? Really just think about it. And he's saying, think about it with love and kindness and compassion. So don't have any type of, you know, if you find like, you know what, these people are not very loving to me. Like, don't allow it to go the other way and you start pitying yourself. But really think about, like, what does that mean to you? Like, okay, if these people are not necessarily loving to me, how can I get to the people that are loving for me? You know, like, just having that way. You realize I may not have always been loving to myself. How can I be more loving and compassionate to myself? Really making sure, like, have you been living and operating in a place of love, compassion, and kindness. Underneath this is reflection. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. And so I feel like with this reflection coming in with the stillness, it's just really like, I feel like this is just the time, speaking about the full moon, like, I just feel like this is just really a time to just reflect on your life and where you are. And when it says reflecting yourself, the one who sees your hidden self, those people in those situations that trigger you, really look at that. Like, whenever you see somebody and you're just like, oh, I cannot stand her. 9 times out of 10, what you really can't stand is not that her, is really a thing that you're seeing in yourself reflected in her. And so, like, there's somebody that I never really cared for. And I feel like the reason why I don't care for her is because she's so bold in her selfishness. It's like she's so out for self. And it's like, I guess in a way I envy that, even though to me, I look at her like, oh, that's a selfish bitch. But then deep down inside, I know it's really because I could never just be that outwardly selfish. It's like, you know, people who just have the balls to be them against any odds, no matter how uncomfortable it makes somebody. Sometimes that can trigger me because it's like, I'm a people pleaser. So it's like, you know what? Let's just be real. Lizzo triggers me. It's something about Lizzo. I don't know. It's like, I see her, like I saw that picture of her and I was just like, ugh. It is just like, but I think it's really because I guess the boldness and the audacity of her to accept her, you know, to accept her body, where I maybe have more shame in my body, you know, like, even though it irritates me and I'm just like, ugh, like, why can't you just put clothes on? It's really because I'm like, well, why don't I feel comfortable like that? You know, if somebody like her can feel comfortable, why don't I feel comfortable in myself? And it's like, I'm really starting to realize it's not really the person, it's something inside of me. And like, I even ended up like, I wrote a tweet and then I deleted it because I'm like, the thing that does bother me about Lizzo is because it doesn't feel genuine. That's the part that really irritates me. It triggers me because, you know, she's a big girl, she's being nude, she's being naked, she's accepting herself. But it really, really bothers me because it's not genuine. Because Lizzo really has issues with her weight. She really has, like, she's working on that. And it's like, I can see if you were just really felt that way and you were out there like, this is my body, but you don't feel that way. Because when you talk about going on a diet and people start saying all this stuff to you, you feel the need to defend it. So it's like, you don't really genuinely feel that way. And I think I even saw a clip of it. But it's like, me, instead of just putting all this energy and being like, oh, fuck, Lizzo's such a, you know, attention-seeking hoe, it's like, you know, why does that bother me so much? And I think it bothers me so much because I don't like genuine people. I don't like non-genuine people. And it also bothers me because I'm not comfortable with my body. So it's like a twofold. It's like, I don't feel like she's being genuine. And I also don't like that she's so confident in her disgenuineness, if that makes any sense. No, yes, I don't know. I hope it makes sense. All right, let's get some tarot out here really quickly. Guys, clarify this message of Earth Guide, Stillness, and Reflection. And again, we keep going to these tarot cards, which is so interesting to me. Earth Guide, Stillness, Reflection. Clarify this message. What are you trying to get us to understand? Everything that comes up is really coming up for us. You know, like it's just your triggers. Like it's just, this world is nothing but a big fucking mirror. And so when you're bothered by somebody, it's really, you really should look at it and be like, why does this bother me so much? That's all I'm trying to say about Lizzo. I'm still trying to figure out why she bothered me so fucking much. Because she bothers the fuck out of me. Okay. So for the Earth Guide, we have King of Wands. So this is what God is saying. Your job is to simply love and be loved. So that's how you should be looking at your kingdom. We have this lizard here. The lizard symbolizes being a soul survivor. And so God is saying, no matter what you've been to in your past, no matter how your childhood was, our childhood, I'm going to say this again. Our soul chose to go into whatever body or whatever family it chose to go in because it wanted to learn certain lessons. And so instead of being like, you know, God, a lot of us just really form our whole identity around our trauma and around our childhood. And instead of looking at it like, okay, this happened in my life in order for me. Oh, thank you. Shout out to, is it Queen Tup Tarot? I think no, not Queen Cup Tarot. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, y'all. Her name Ashley, I want to say. Hold on. I really want to give her a shout out because she really helped me understand this. She helped me understand, like, you know, life is all about balance, which is something that I've, you know, a concept that I've been working on for a while. But she was also, it's like, yes, it's all about balance. So if you had a lot of good, you need to experience, you know, God wants you to experience. If you have a lot of bad, God wants you to experience the good of life. But then she also got me to understand like balance also in spectrum, right? So if you had so much of distrust and loyal, you know, betrayal and all that stuff, if you've been on that spectrum of life, God is trying to get you on the other spectrum of life. Like, your life journey is about going through the other spectrum of life because that's all our soul wants to do. Our soul just wants experiences. It doesn't give a fuck how it happens. Like, that's why these massive, you know, these tragedies can happen and it can be so heartbreaking, but it's really because your soul chose to have that type of experience. And so I feel like what God is saying I feel like I'm speaking to someone who had a very, very rough childhood and who just, you know, life hasn't been good for them. God is just trying to get you to understand, instead of being like, I had to fight all my life, I got to keep fighting. He just wants you to see, look how powerful you are. Look how resilient you are. Look how much you were able to survive. now I want you to use all of that same power and all of that stuff, instead of trying to, get revenge or make your parents pay for it. Leave that shit for God. Put that energy and your focus into what you're here for. Put that energy and focus on building your kingdom. Put that energy and that focus on trying to transmute it and trying to heal yourself. If you a really good example of this is if you've had, teachers that, lowered your self-esteem or made you not feel good. I actually had an article on Honestly Sis like this. This young lady, not young lady, she's, I think we're the same age, but this lady, age number 1035, when she was in school, she had teachers talk really, really bad to her and like just talk down on her. And she found herself being an overachiever to prove to those teachers that she wasn't like this, bad kid. And now instead of just continuing to walk around with this chip on her shoulder, she actually used her experience now, and she is a teacher herself. And she go back into the classroom and she teach to those kids how she wish she would have been taught. And so that's what God is saying. Every single thing that we've been through, good, bad, and definitely the tragedy, like the worst shit that we've been through, it really happens so that we can find a deeper sense of love and a deeper sense of compassion. Another card that came out for stillness was the Magician, and it was the Magician reversed. And so I feel like God is saying the reason why you're not able to kind of, bring these magical blessings in your life, the reason why you don't feel like the alchemist of life, the reason why you feel like it's bullshit when people say, we are co-creating with the universe, that you have control over it. The reason you feel that way is because, one, you haven't taken a moment to sit back and reflect and think about your life. You've just been go, go, go. And when you being go, 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 again, you created your whole personality, your whole attachment style was formed between the ages of 0 and 4. And so if that is what informed how you are of a person from 0 to 4, and from 4 to 34, you ain't never had a moment of stillness and silence. You ain't never sat and meditated. You ain't never reflected over your life. You ain't never been like, what's going on? How would you become the alchemist of your life? Because you don't even know yourself. You're running off of this script from a lot of us. I forgot who said this, but the world is really being ran by 4-year-olds, because a lot of people are living from that 4-year-old place. And so what God is saying, if you had a shitty childhood, if shit been fucked up since 4, you need to take a moment to sit back and reflect and to think about your life and think about the ways that you can have love and be love. If you are able to just sit back with love and kindness and compassion, then you will be able to be the alchemist of life, because then you're thinking clearly. Then you're able to make choices from a more informed place. It took for me to go through a relationship for 7 years for me to really truly see, I equated love to I equated love to servitude. I created love to conditions. I chased love because that's what my daddy taught me. So it's like, if you don't ever just be like, oh, wait a minute, this is not really love. This is not what I think is love. This doesn't feel like love to me. Then how could you ever bring in the love and what you want, right? Let me calm down. Angel number 1347. As above, so below. What God is saying, when you think a thought, when you think to yourself, this isn't love. I don't want my life to be this anyway. I believe that I'm worthy of more. I believe that I can experience the other spectrum of life. Then God can bring it down above. But when you don't even know, when your life is just caught up in this loop, in this trauma cycle, how can God ever bless you? Because you're just so caught up in the bullshit, I don't know. God says, when you take a moment, I don't know why that made me laugh. Angel number 1423. I crack myself up. When you take this moment to realize that just you being alive means that you're worthy of achieving your dreams. Literally, like, that's some real ass shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what if you want to own an NFL team, if it's on your mind, somehow, some way, you can make it happen. I think it can happen. Why not? It can happen in the next 50 years. Why? Why not? Why you can't be the first one? Another clip that I was looking at on Will Smith, he was talking about this master champion or whatever, or the master of chess. And the guy was saying how he does it is, how he wins. He said, you just put the chess pieces where you want them to go. And Will was like, you can't do that. And he said, there you go. That's your limitation. See, the problem is the moment that we have a dream, the moment that we tell God, this is what I want, because of this trauma loop, because of the bullshit that you've been through, who you think you are? You can't have that. What you think? You think somebody gonna support you? You ain't never had friends before. Now you think you're gonna have millions of people do that? Like, that's your trauma, right? But if you can look at it and be like, oh, bitch, shut up. This is what's about to happen. Then you can bring it about. Then God can really bless you. Angel number 1550. Then God can really bless you. Another thing is, so often you don't even know what you really want. You're so caught up in what everybody else have. Oh, this person got a house, so I want a house. You ain't never even lived on your own. But now all of a sudden you got a house, you got all these responsibilities that you feel overwhelmed for. Because you're trying to, look out for other people. But God is saying, fuck what everybody else got. What do you really, really want? Yes, you had all of these experiences, but what is your 10 of cups? What do you really want? And until you can ask yourself or say that truthfully out loud, then you're never going to be able to bring it about because you're not being clear. But God says, once you know that you're worthy, once you know that it's just your job to be loved and to be loved, once you know that your birthright is to create and to have whatever the fuck you want, once you realize that and you take those moments of stillness to reflect and to look over your life, when the emotions come up, you observe them, you ask yourself, okay, well, what is this trying to tell me? When you're starting to take a conscious effort and you're trying to start to actually take, you're thinking about your life, you're actually starting to take a participating interest in your life, you're actually participating in your life, then God can be like, oh, because you decided to reflect, because you decided to go into look at those shadows of yourself, because you decided to look at your triggers, here is a blessing to go through a new entry of your brand new life. Here's a tangible thing that I can give you to show you which way to go. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort, but here you go. The idea is the blessing. God says, you think about your life, I don't really, I really don't want to work for nobody. I don't like that. But I think I may want, what would be really, really cool? If I could just create my own business. The blessing. The idea. Sometimes we look at these manifestations and we want it to be like, like we want it to be like, ta-da! See, that's what I get. Angel number 1830. That's what I get. But we want it to be like this physical, blessing, when sometimes it's just that subtle idea. It's just that subtle shift to your perspective that'll get you where you need to go. Let's just go work it light. And we're going to get y'all out of here, because I don't want this to be too long. Surrender your need to control the outcome and just be present. This is the thing. You need to create your 10 of cups and then just be like, all right, let it go. It's like this is the thing. God wants you, because the thing is, you cannot even begin to think of the blessings that God have on your life or where he wants you to go. But he wants you to start allowing yourself to go to your ceiling, because last time I'm bringing this up. Your blessing, you down here, right? Your blessing is a really, really good blessing will be if I can get here, right? But God is saying, I got a blessing that's going to take you up there. And so to even get you to the blessing up there, God is letting you shoot here so that you can think you can jump off there. You're here, you want to get there, but God is trying to get you there. So when you get to the top of this mountain, that's when you realize, you feel like, oh shit, I can overcome anything. Now let me really start dreaming. But you have to do the small things. You have to do the small steps. You gotta this kind of look at the big picture thinking ignores the fact that a creative life, a life, is grounded on many, many small steps and very, very few large leaps. Many, many small steps and very, very small leaps. You keep thinking about the big picture. You keep thinking about how it's all going to come about. And instead of just thinking about the little bitty steps that you can do every day to turn your life around. All right, God, clarify this message of Earth Guide, the Earth Guide, King of Wands, reflection, Ace of Pentacles with the stillness with the Magician, God. Clarify this message of the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, God. How do we get to a total emotionally fulfillment, God? How do we get to the life that is for us, God? How do we know that we're worthy of just having all of our dreams met just because we are alive? How can we look at our past with love and compassion, God? How can we look at the aspects of ourselves we really don't want to accept so that we can get the blessing that we ultimately deserve? God, just clarify this message. Allow any doubt and confusion to be cleared and gone away. In God's name I pray. One card. Thank you. Starseed, what lights you up? Angel number 2159, along with Martini. I don't think I said it right. Martini, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Let's see. So Starseed is an inquiry card, while this one is a transmission. All right, so let's start with the Starseed card. And then we're going to end with the last one. And then I'll wrap it up. 2233. Starseeds are souls with a double mission: to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They are old souls who have incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many starseeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out and that there is something that they came here to do or create or contribute. If you pulled this card, it is confirmed that you are a starseed and you are being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Once awake, most starseed souls find it hard to have meaningless conversation, jobs, and relationships. They innately know there is much more to life and feel there is something more and get to work. They remain restless until they step into their calling, which is to light up the world with their unique presence. Starseeds are scattered all over the planet, in hospitals and schools, in slums and in mansions, on stages and in edit suites, in parks and nightclubs, in taxis and theme parks. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in or in some form of spiritual closet. If you are dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share. If you are dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share and treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation. Double confirmation that God is saying you are special, you are unique, you are here for a reason, and all the things that you have on your mind are coming up for a reason. You're worthy of having this calling. You're worthy of creating your own kingdom. But in order to do that, you're going to have to take a moment of stillness. You're going to have to reflect on your life. You're going to have to reflect on those parts of yourself that you really don't like. Once you do that, then you'll be able to get to the blessing and the life that is for you. Angel number 2434. Final message. McKinney. So if you have a moment, I know you're probably not looking at this video. If you can, just take a moment to look at this card that I'm going to hold up, because it's a transmission card, so it can activate some stuff in your third eye and all that stuff. Y'all, we are always activated. So I'm just, if you're really about this life, go ahead and take it in. Angel number 25. Martinis are a soul of groups. Martinis, I'm going to just say this because I don't know if I'm saying it right. Just go with me. Martinis are a soul group who were oriented on a planet in the constellation of Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. The Martinis' home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you can see through it for miles. For this reason, Martinis feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. They are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and in every being. Many Martinis have an odd longing for home and struggle to feel like they belong. It is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pull this card, it could mean that you are a Martini or longing for a sense of belonging, and the root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where that is. Perhaps you have been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on Earth to call your own. If so, you are being called to connect with Mother Earth and create it for yourself. To choose where you feel most at home and create it rather than waiting for the feeling or belonging to come. Oh, ashe. So put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. Angel number 2626. I allow myself to truly be here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held, or call in the perfect home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home. God is saying it's time for you to get grounded, connect with nature, to take this time to really connect with yourself. If you can, go walk outside in the grass. If you can, go to a beach, go chill by the beach and just sit there. I got a chance to just sit on a beach for a full day, and it was the most amazing experience ever. And it just brought me so much clarity and so much comfort. And I just feel like that's what God wants you to have right now. He wants you to feel clarity. He wants you to feel comfort. He wants you to feel loved. The only way that you're going to feel that is you have to take control of your thoughts, and you have to go deep and connect with yourself to know that you're worthy of every single thing you are seeking. So if that is your mission, I really challenge you to take a moment of stillness, to try to meditate, to try to do some yoga, or even some morning pages. Whatever you do, it's time to connect to the real you. All right, y'all. That is all the messages I have for you. If it was beneficial for you, please give me a thumbs up. If you really, really enjoyed it, please subscribe or donate. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. We create a new earth, y'all. And know that you can always find home right here in your heart. I did not like that. I need to just end these videos. All right, y'all. Bye.